The following program is a Creative Magic Network production. Hey guys, December 3rd is the deadline to enter the contest to win Lance Secretan's powerful book on inspiring leadership, titled The Spark, the Flame, and the Torch. Inspire yourself, inspire others, inspire the world. And the best part, the book is in hardcover. That's right, hardcovers are hard to get these days. So if you haven't already, you can enter the contest by going to frederickbuy.com. That's Frederick with a C, buy like bye-bye.com, and enter your email in the pop-up that will appear at the top of your screen. Have a great episode.
You're listening to the Frederick Buy Show, where sky is the limit and space is the place. Here's your host, Frederick Buy.
Alrighty, hello everybody. Welcome. Come on in, sit down, relax, put your earbuds on. This is the Frederick Buy Show, and this little podcast is about unleashing your creativity. We talk to experts who step into the unknown. It is a magical, inspirational, intuitive radio podcast as we chat with charismatic enigmas. That's right. From around the globe. Musicians, singers, radio hosts, authors, business people, everything in between. I am Frederick Buy, the man of the hour, the man with the power. Too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Hey, I sting like a bee. I produce sweet honey, and I am pretty. And I am your favorite French Canucker. And today we have someone from all the way we have somebody from Miami. And let me ask you this, people. Do you wonder what your calling is? Do you wonder, if there's more than what meets the eye? Do you try to live your life? Maybe your life is ego-driven. Maybe you're driven by the material things. Maybe you're driven and you don't know what your purpose is in life. And this is going to be your show. And today we're talking with Jodi Hershey, the author. She's the author of The Call of the Day. It's a spiritual and transformational book. You can join her at JoyJourney of You.com. How are you today, Jodi?
I'm terrific, Frederick. How are you?
I am fabulous. Thank you very much. And like I said to our listeners here, your book is deep. Your book is spiritual. Your book takes us to the other side, I should say. And, for anybody out there who is a creative person, I love all you artists. And I think when we're an artist, we're in touch with our spirituality, whether you're a painter, photographer, or even, even if you're an accountant. I have a friend of mine who, she's an accountant, and she says that she sees numbers in her dreams. Anyway, that's just crazy. But, so Jodi, right before we dive into your book, though, give us an idea here of your background a little bit.
Okay. I'm just going to say I'm a mother, a grandmother. I am a teacher. I have a degree in education. I am also a hypnotherapist. I am a spiritual counselor, and I do some healing work along with that, which is based on sound and color. And I am a writer, and that's my first love, is writing.
Were you always spiritually inclined when you were growing up? Because right now you wrote a very spiritual book. Were you always spiritually inclined even as a kid?
I think I was. I don't think a lot of us recognize it, but I'm Jewish, and I wound up as a child always wandering into a church. And it just made me feel comfortable and serene. I think it was the stained glass windows or just the vibe in it. So I think I was, even as a younger person, I had a sense of a calling to the spiritual.
Right. Now, you graduated with a BA in education, and okay, now you know your calling. You're a writer, as you said, at heart. And what drove you to go to university? Do you think this was your calling?
The writing, yes.
No, the education.
Yes, the education is as well, because I am a teacher at heart as well, and I teach through my writing. And I'm always wanting to share with children and adults and to try and have them be who they are and just be proud of who they are and live from their true selves. So I would say my essence is a teacher and a writer.
Mm-hmm. Who were your favorite authors back in the day?
Well, Wayne Dyer was a big person for me. I think what happens is we read books along the way, and sometimes we'll get one of the books and they'll say one thing that can really turn our lives around.
Yeah.
And I think it's so, so powerful. And Wayne Dyer was one of those people that turned me around as far as, picking up something that I felt was true.
Mm-hmm. What was it? What do you recall? What was?
Yeah, it was. You'll see it when you believe it.
Okay.
And that's powerful.
That's true.
And, you don't know. It's a lot of times our words sound simple, but if you take it in and hold it into the soul memory, it's like, wow, that's true. I am in control of my own beliefs.
Mm-hmm. For all the kids out there, because, it's a new generation coming on, and a lot of we talk about the millennials, and, and when you get to be 19, 20 years old, is that big thing between going to college or, getting a real job, quote unquote, engineer, doctor, lawyer, or taking another path, with this oftentimes the artistic path, the entrepreneurial path, and that scares a lot of parents, scares a lot of people. What would you say to these kids who are in that kind of situation right now where, they just, sometimes our heart, our soul, our passion is called to do one thing, but we're steered to another thing because, society pressures,
Right.
What would you tell them?
I would tell them to follow your heart. Mm-hmm. I think the way that it all works is it's not from the outside in, it's from the inside out. So it's what our true soul is saying to us to do. And when doing that, and we're happy in creating or whatever it is we do, accounting, when we're doing what we love, you will get the clientele and the people that you need, and to just stay focused on what it is you love to do. Because otherwise, I feel you could get lost if you go for, I'm just going to go take that job. I think sometimes we have to take a little job to keep going, but all in all, always follow your truth.
And, for these kids out there, I just feel like sometimes, because the number one fear is always money. It's always money, money. I want to be a writer, but I'm never going to make money. I'm never going to, you know what I mean? And I just think that so many talents are wasted because of that.
Very much so. And fear is false education appearing real.
False education appearing real. What's the other? I read something. False.
There's different words that go in there. But that's the word. That's the wording that I always liked, and I think it's so true. Mm-hmm. And don't respond out of fear. Respond out of your truth and your integrity. Mm-hmm. And you take on sometimes you do have to take a job a little bit just to make your ends meet, but stay with your creativity, stay with who you are, because in the long run, that's where your happiness is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's not in the dollar bill. And, yes, we all love it and need it, but that's the ego self, and it's not your true soul self talking to you. Right. So it's important also to start to learn what is the ego versus what is the soul.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Once again, we're talking to Jodi Hershey. She's the author of The Call of the Day. It's a spiritual and transformational book. You can find her at JoyJourneyofYou.com. Okay, your expertise is in holistic education. Let's start with that. What is that? What is holistic education?
Holistic means that we look at the individual or the person, and we come from our mind, body, spirit. That we come from the wholeness of the self, not just one piece of it. So, it's learning to take care of our bodies. It's taking, challenging our mind, feeling our spiritual self, and putting it all together to make us the whole person that we are. And it's just finding that.
Right. In your book, you say we have entered the time of enlightenment. What is an enlightened person? And given the recent events, some people will say no, we went backwards, or some people will say we went forward. What would you say about that? First of all, what is an enlightened person, and how does it pertain to today's society?
Okay, so an enlightened person is somebody who's truly only coming from their soul self. The ego has at that point disappeared, and you are working from the universal principles of spirit, which we all have inside of us. We just need to tap into it. How does it pertain to society? Okay. Yeah, it appears that we're going backwards. What I think we need to know is that we are in a time period where we are shown to be true to ourselves, one, and two, to be proactive in the way we would like to see our world. So it's a calling to all of us to be steadfast and to make groups and donate to certain things that are, whether it's time or money, that are working towards the betterment of our society and our planet. So yes, I mean, I was devastated myself when I saw that. And I think what one has to do is what I did anyway. You don't have to do it. Is I really have to be quiet and go in and ask what is the message of this? And the other thing that I came to is that obviously there's a lot of people out there that have something to say. And I'm not talking about the racist thing. I'm talking about what was the core issue that made people go this way. And one of the things I think is that it's coming from not liking the way our government is run anymore. Mm-hmm. And I don't think any of us are happy with that. So, we got a curveball and we got Donald Trump. But we don't know what that looks like yet. And I think it is calling all of us to stay strong and to keep up the work that we're doing. And it is very powerful work, and things take time. It's not going to happen overnight, but we have to stay true to ourselves and true to what we want our planet to look like and the society we wish to have. And we start creating that in our own lives and build out from that.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think those are wise words. Is when we have entered the time of enlightenment, and I think you're right. And I think what you just said is perfectly on point. Sometimes I feel like, you're obviously a spiritual person. So in your quote unquote vibration, you must attract other spiritual people, I guess, right? In your life. And sometimes, and somebody, I guess one time, made that remark to me. I was like, cause I told him, I said, look, we are like you just said, we seem to be more and more enlightened, right? But he said, that's because you probably are, you attract these kinds of people in your life. But he says to him, that's not what he sees. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? To him, it's like, no, he's still, most of the society is still in the fear-driven, ego-driven type of life.
That's correct. And what is happening now is everything starting to break down because we are supposed to move away from the ego-driven life and more into the heart self, the heart center of life, and the compassion and love, which is supposed to come through. And, it doesn't look like that now. And there is always many, many tests and many challenges to, walk your spiritual life. But it is so, so worth it because you feel whole within yourself. And you live a happy life from that, regardless of what's going on around you. And so, yes, it takes practice, but, with your thoughts as well as what you were saying, if we have positive thoughts, we're going to attract positive thoughts. So your light that comes from you, from your spirituality, will shine to somebody else and they'll pick it up. They see it through our eyes. They see it through our gestures, our smile.
Right. Okay. In your book, you talk about dimensional frequency, sound, and tone. And you write that dimensions encompass entire realities and overlap each other. Okay. In other words, you're saying there's the third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension. Let's start with the third one.
Okay. So the third dimension is where we all have been for many, many, many years. And it's driven by the ego self. It's just ego. It's not. Third dimension is past, present, future. It tends towards fixation. The ego works from fear. It works from past, present, future. And the third dimension is all about our basic needs within society. Now, our ego self is very important to have because it was placed there to help guide us and direct us through our daily lives. So it is important. It's an important navigational tool. However, in order to move out of this third dimension and into a fourth and fifth dimension, the fourth dimension is about finding your soul and finding your true self and living from this place. And the soul isn't fixed. It's fluid. And the soul works from love. It doesn't work from fear. And the soul just is. It's not. The ego says, I'm happy if you like me. The soul says, I'm happy anyway. Right. So we're moving towards that type of thought. And I would say, to me, what I saw with the fourth dimension, it is Christ consciousness, which we all are hearing, oh, it's a new coming of Christ. Well, I don't feel he's coming. I feel that his message is here now, which is compassion and love. And that's what all of the fourth dimension is about, and learning how to come from that and be that within ourselves so we can become that as a society. Now, that takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but the new energies of fourth dimension, which is a frequency shift, it has happened, and time is moving faster. And time is moving towards this kind of compassion and love. And so in order to get there, we have to break down all the things that don't work in our lives anymore. And as a society, pretty much everything is not working anymore. So I think this is what we're seeing, the breaking down of different systems. For us as individuals, it's important to now hold what it is that we would like to see in our future and in our daily lives. And with what do I have to offer to others? So this kind of tragedy, so to speak, is it's a call, it's a lesson, and we have to find that lesson, and we need to stay in our truth at all times. It's just saying, okay, put on your helmets, it's time. You need to really start creating your new world.
Right. Okay, karma. Karma is one.
Karma resides in third dimension.
Yeah, right. But you're right, in your book, because karma is a big thing, right? And a lot of people believe in karma, whatever you give is what you receive, and,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
And you're right. You said the karma does not exist in the fourth dimension or any of the higher frequencies. It is to be completed in the third dimension.
Correct.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
Well, in order to be balanced in ourselves, we have to balance our karma. And that happens in the third dimension, because the third dimension is about mirroring or being with people that help us learn what we're supposed to learn. And we need to learn everything it is that we need to release and not hold on to anymore, so that we can move into and stay in a place of love and compassion.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, once again, we're here with Jodi Hershey. She's the author of The Call of the They. It's a spiritual and transformational book. You can find her at JoyJourneyofYou.com. And guys, right before continuing this conversation, if you have a passion, something that fuels a curiosity, well, on top of getting fascinating interviews such as this one straight to your inbox, when you subscribe to our free Creative Magic community, you will get super cool exclusive gifts in return, such as the ebook Happiness Quote by the ambassador of happiness herself, Maura Sweeney, one of our hosts, and also an exclusive conversation with two of my favorite people, Alex Okoroji and the blind blogger Max Ivy, as we talk about the influence of friends and college education on our lives, the competitiveness in a crowded field, the importance of business and financial education in arts and entrepreneurship, and more. And also Alex has a special gift for you inside. I promise you will get inspired and entertained. Subscribe for free at FrederickBye.com. That's Frederick with a C, bye like bye-bye.com. Okay, chapter 2. You talk about the chakras.
Yeah.
And coming from consciousness to the chakra system. What are chakras, first of all?
Okay, so chakras are energy centers within our body, and they're wheels of light that go interchange through each other. It's like a swirling type of light, and they hold different frequencies and different understandings with each one. So the first, second, and third, I related to the first, second, and third dimensions, which is about, our survival, and it's a root chakra type thing, and it's third dimensional based. Mm-hmm. The fourth chakra is the heart chakra, and that is what we're in right now, which is the fourth dimension is where we're going to, and it's heart centered. And then we have the throat, which is, once we learn to center that, which will take some time, but we will, we're able to start to speak our truth and then manifest our truth. So then it would be speaking, and then it would be seeing and manifesting. So we have to go through these stages in order to be able to get to the higher frequencies. Now, you can always, and I do this with my clients, tune up your chakras so that you can keep the energy centers clean and clear. Because sometimes we have negative energy around us and we hold on to it, or we're not feeling good. So it's good to get a tune up and just try and clear that debris away.
Mm-hmm. What you say you're a spiritual advisor. What is a spiritual advisor? What do you do with your clients?
What I do is I get to know them. We do a reading, and we talk about what it is that within themselves that they would like to see and accomplish. And I take them also on different journeys to see, what it is that brings them excitement and peace and, things that are important to them in their lives that they may have sort of brushed aside because of the busy lives that we have. So I'm there to just guide them on their way to whatever their understanding is. And it's different for everybody, and there is no particular way. It's all how you choose to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. Intuition. I think that's one of my favorite subjects, definitely. You say using our intuition is essential in this time period because there are no maps, and this is so true. We are in uncharted territory. Now, well, you couldn't write, that's prophetic or something.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
okay. Well, we all know we're in uncharted territories, politically. But, let's talk about the individual. You can be in uncharted territory, the dating life now. Dating life is just, you're totally in uncharted territory. There are no rules anymore. It's just, and that's a big thing. Relationships, career-wise, there are no rules. It's the jungle. If you have a podcast or if you're a writer or if there are, like you said, there are no roadmaps for anything almost. Talk to us. Let's start with dating. Talk to us about using our intuition in dating. I know you're not a dating expert necessarily, but you are an intuition expert.
Well, I think from an intuitive point, how I would say it is, sometimes we'll see a person and we'll go, oh my God, I love them. I like what they do. They're so exciting. And, you go out with them and then maybe there's a sign that says, this doesn't feel right. And the intuition, that's your feeling, is telling you something. So what is it that it's trying to tell you? It's saying, step back and take a look at the story. Am I creating the story the way that I would like to see the story, or am I looking at this in a clear point of view? So, and that's pretty much with everything. We have to learn to be quiet, and we have to learn to go inside ourselves and trust ourselves in what it is we're feeling. And if it doesn't feel right, it's usually not right. Your body's going to tell you that. You get this like tense feeling in your system, or your heart starts to race. And if those things are happening, turn around. You're going in the wrong direction. So things should flow, and pay attention and listen to your inner self and try and decipher what is your soul truth. What is the truth in this matter? You can ask your higher power as well when you're quiet. What am I supposed to see? Am I creating a better situation because that's the way I want my story to go? Or is it actually what it is that I'm seeing, and it is a go? It feels right. It feels comfortable in that regard. So that's how I would explain that.
I think that's an important, fascinating subject because, okay, let's say you're, you're a writer, you're a podcaster, you're a blogger. Okay. And you say, you know what, I want to make a living off of it. I want to, make a living. But you look at it from, it looks so big. We're in a world now, like the online world, it's big and there's so much, it's crowded. Yeah. How can you, I don't know, how would you approach it? Let's put it that way. How would you approach it?
Well, for me, I stay within. I mean, I on a daily basis, many, many times a day, I ask myself, okay, is this my truth or isn't my truth? And to go out into the world and be of service, you just have to know what feels right for you. And you go out into the world, you be who you are, and you keep going with what it is that you love, and just keep going forward. Don't get distracted, and you will. If this is your passion and this is what you want to do, it will manifest. You just have to believe that. So Wayne Dyer again, you'll see it when you believe it.
Yeah.
So you really have to believe in what you're doing. It's your calling. This is what you do, and you make it happen. And it will happen because you're staying on course and you're putting it out into the universe every day. Okay, this is what I'm doing. This is what, I want to share. It's like the book. I did the book because I wanted to share it with others and to be of service. This is where I'm at in my point in life, where I want to just help people find their truth and to live happy within themselves and to start creating a world that we all would like to see. And that starts by each of us doing what's right for ourselves. Not greed-wise. I mean, soul-wise, intuitively, what makes you sing? What makes you feel good?
Once again, we're here with Jodi Hershey. She's the author of The Call of the Day, and it's a spiritual transformational book. You can find her at JoyJourneyofYou.com. That's a great conversation we're having right now. Okay. One of the quotes in your book, and I really like it. You say, "Is this life-giving or is it life-taking?" That's what we should ask ourselves. And you say, if in any way it is life-taking, we do not do it. How many of you, how many people, how many of us, I should say, because I'm included in that, we end up in jobs and situations, and it's literally life-taking. We're around people who take our energy instead of giving us energy. And, you couldn't be more right here. Where did that quote come from?
I just kind of, it's what I bring in. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, when I write books and I write like this, it takes a tremendous amount of quiet time and time to reflect with spirit, so that I'm passing on a message that I feel is to the highest good of other people.
All right. Yeah. All right. Change. A lot of people are afraid of change because change means that we're uncomfortable. And you write so beautifully. You write, if I make a change, will I, as I know myself, lose my identity? Why are we so afraid of change, and how can we overcome that fear?
Yes.
Good question for this time of period of our era.
Yes. Well, any kind of change, whatever it is. I mean, it's like even riding your first bike. You're going to be scared. Mm-hmm. It's a normal reaction. But you push through it. You push through it. And once you get that bike pedaling, you feel fantastic. You're like, oh, my God, I accomplished it. This is so great. I'm going to go faster. So yes, we don't have to fear. We're not going to lose our identity. What will happen is once we make the choice, we start to learn that we're finding ourselves. We've found who we truly are, and there's no fear in that. It's just pure joy and happiness because we're going, wow, I'm living how I want to, I'm being who I am. I'm being my authentic self, and I love myself, and I love what I'm doing. And, that's, you're finding who you really are, not losing who you are, because we've identified ourselves as our ego selves of who we are. Oh, I'm pretty, I'm fat, I'm ugly, Well, that's the ego talking to us. The truth, when we go inside ourselves, discovers who it is we really are, our beautiful person inside. And we learn to start to come out and not be afraid. Are you cautious? If you don't, yes, you're cautious as far as the people you're around. And that's a life choices that you have to start to ask yourself. But you absolutely do not lose yourself. You find yourself. And it's beautiful. And I've had that happen. So anything I'm writing, I have experienced myself.
Well, this was going to be my next questions. You had 3 children at home, a failing marriage. You had a lot of financial responsibility on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And you assumed that you could never leave or get out. You felt stuck, basically. And you started to get sick a lot. And you gave yourself, I guess, the label of being lazy. This is what this is what I read. Or no, I'm sorry. You're right. I started getting sick a lot, which gave me the label of being lazy. Maybe other people thought you were lazy or something.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that period in your life. It must have been something very challenging for you.
Oh, it was. It was an incredibly challenging time. I was working in a business with my family that is an institution, and I had been doing it for many years. And I was teaching when I was younger, my kids were younger. And then I went to work for my family because I actually needed more money because I was a teacher. You see, you learn this as you go. And as a teacher, I wasn't making enough money. So I took on another job. So I was working 2 jobs. And I had stayed in the business for quite some time. I'm going to say 15, 16 years. And what was happening to me is I was losing myself. I could not identify who I was anymore. Was I my children's mother? Was I the wife to so-and-so? Was I the daughter of, and I started to really take a look at my life, and I felt that I couldn't move. I felt like, this is a financial responsibility, and I have 3 children, and I have to do it. Well, what happened was that kind of stress that I put myself under put me into a chronic fatigue mode. And what happened is that I couldn't get out of bed. And I couldn't get out of bed for months. And chronic fatigue is one of those things that people just do not understand, And of course, that's, a challenge that I would get. So I was in bed for many months, and nobody really understood it. And one day I woke up because I was in a 2-story house, and I wasn't even able to go downstairs and come back to my bed. It was totally exhausting. So one day, I did acupuncture and herbs that really, really helped me. One day I was laying in my bed, and I said to myself, okay, you got a choice here. You can decide to live and get out of this bed, or you can decide to die and stay here and do that. It's your choice, and you need to make a choice now because you're not going anywhere until you do. And so I got up that day and I said to myself, okay, God, I'm going with you. I'm going to take the chance. I believe wholeheartedly that you'll take care of me, and I'm going to let go of my job, and I'm going to start living my truth. And that's what I did. I let go of my job. I let go of my marriage. I sold my house. I moved to New Mexico.
Wow.
So huge, huge, huge changes. And I needed to, through those years, I learned more about myself and the different things that, came with that. So that was that story. And with the chronic fatigue, which was very interesting, once I made that choice, I was okay. I was still sick, but I was able to get up. I was able to get up because I had quit the job that I thought I couldn't ever get out of. And I had made a choice to live my life with my truth no matter what. And so I was able to get up, and I moved to New Mexico with my small son at that point. My other 2 daughters were grown. And I started learning about myself and healing and being in the mountains and just nurturing myself back to health. And, made it firm that I'm worth it. I am worth it. I am going to get better, and I'm going to stand in my truth. But that's a huge, huge, huge choice. And I'm so glad I made it. I'm living my truth. I'm being who I am, regardless of what people think, because, a lot of people think this is crazy. You're talking about dimensions. Mm-hmm. But this is what's given to me, and I feel like it's, something I want to share with the world. They can take it or leave it, but it was given to me, and so I want to give that back to society.
All right, once again, we're here with Jodi Hershey. She's the author of The Call of the Day, and it's a spiritual and transformational book. You can find her at JoyJourneyofYou.com. And guys, right before continuing this conversation, the last part of our conversation, are you an Amazon shopper? When you use our Amazon link at FrederickBuy.com, Amazon kicks back a few bucks to the show, and it helps cover production costs at no additional cost to you. No hidden fees, no nothing. So if you like what you hear, you can help by going over to frederickbuy.com. That's Frederick with a C, buy like bye-bye.com. Click on the blog page and click the Amazon link in the sidebar for all your online shopping. It is really that simple, and bookmark it to find it easier. Okay, so you made a huge jump. Man, quitting your job must have been hard. What was the hardest to quit? Like, what was the hardest thing to quit?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, the most challenging thing, I mean, okay, you leave your home. Okay, well, you might go live in an apartment, or you leave your job. Well, how am I going to pay my bills? You know, what?
I think the hardest part was to leave my job. That was the hardest part. And then I, again, had to go in and look at my marriage and what was going on there, and to move on from that. So that was difficult as well. Why I say the job was the most difficult is because it was a point where I had to make a choice as far as who I was and how I chose to live the rest of my life. So that's why it was difficult, because it was saying, I am trusting who I am and I am going with it. And that was huge. The other parts were huge too, but it wasn't a personal letting go of myself. You know, so yes, leaving the marriage always is hard, and selling my home, very hard. But I needed money, so you do the things you have to do to be who you are, and that's what I did.
Right. Okay, anger. Some people, we love anger. We love our pain in many ways. It's like a drug. It's like an addiction. I'm certainly, anger sometimes I'm prone to, I don't know, for me, I think I can be prone to anger, but I channel it, and thank God that I read these books and I meditate and I'll do all of that stuff. But, why do we hold on to our anger and pain? It's like a drug, and how can we just let go of it, or, grow from it? Use it in a positive way. There you go.
Right. Okay. So we hold on to our anger because it makes us feel right. It's an armor. It's a protection. It's like saying, you're not going to hurt me anymore, and I'm just going to stay mad and keep you at a distance. And, keeping at a distance, that's not a bad idea. But the anger part, I found, what I learned was it's not hurting them, it's hurting me. So yeah, we get angry, and then I'm saying to myself, okay, look where you're very tired, you're very upset, you're in bed because of these feelings. And, you can stop that right now. You can be aware and protective to the best of your ability and stay away from that. But I'm not going to let it eat me up, because the other person really doesn't care. And they also don't even know a lot of times that you're angry and hurting. So, it's important to let go of that. We do hold on to it for dear life a lot of times, because we just don't, we use it as our protection mechanism.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you're right. You cannot change your dream. I love that. You cannot change your dream. However, you can change your prayers. What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
Okay.
Please.
So what it's saying is you're able to, a client came to me about praying for her stepfather. And she was taught as a young girl that she should always pray at night for her whole family. And that's what she did. And so when her mother remarried, her real father died, she was learned to put the stepfather in your prayers. And she said to me, I can't sleep anymore. I'm very disturbed by this event. And I go, well, what's going on? She says, well, I've been praying for my stepfather all this time, but I don't feel right putting him with my family because he abused me sexually. And I don't want to pray for him with my family. I said, okay, well, if you feel that you need to include him in your family, in your prayers, not your family, you can do a separate prayer for him and ask the universe to help teach him to be a better person. And so you can ask for those things. It's in my prayer. So I'm praying that she's praying that the universe takes care of him, and it's not out of malice, but so that he will learn and he won't do that again. So she went home and started doing this, and it was a huge relief for her because she didn't want to discard him because he was a human being, but she just couldn't put him in the family prayers. So she was able to do that and pray for him separately, and it took the bad dreams away.
Right. We're gonna wrap this up in a few moments here. Give us a few tools, practices to remain calm, and spiritually fit in the midst of chaos. Just a few of them, because you elaborate. You give many of them in your book.
Yes. Well, one that I really, really like is to write a gratitude list, because when we're really upset or angry and we don't like the way things going, and we start to write down and acknowledge what we're grateful for, it starts to dissipate the upset that we're feeling. So a gratitude list is always just great to do. Physically, I do Tai Chi and meditation. I feel like Tai Chi is like meditation and movement. And so I like it because I'm bringing the energy in as I'm moving my body. So that's a really good one. Yoga is a good one. Using certain stones or aromas, deciding to make a spiritual group with friends or people that you can bring together and start talking about different topics that you all want to learn and talk to each other about, and possibly do some things for your community. I think that's just really powerful. And it's very good if you have a spiritual counselor, because I will tell you, through all of my changes throughout my life, I've always had a spiritual counselor to confer with, no matter what. I always have one in case I need to find out if what I'm feeling is correct or not. I need another opinion. And they also can guide you. If you're having a tough time, they can guide you to help see, what is actually going on, and how you can handle it. So try and get a referral for that, or try and find that person. And for me, they were different people as my life went on. So sometimes you're at the end of a spiritual counselor and you both have, finished your work together, and you're very grateful for what you have. And then as time moves on and you have other things that come up, the next spiritual counselor will appear. So I 100% recommend that, just for comfort.
Mm-hmm. Right. Awesome, Jodi. Thank you very much. The title of the book is The Call of the Day by Jodi Hershey. And Jodi, where can we buy your book, and where can we find you?
You can find me at JoyJourneyofYou.com. My book is at Amazon. It's with Barnes & Noble. You can go to thecalloftheday.org. It has, you can order the book there as well with the Amazon tab. And yes, so or just go to Amazon.com and put in the book, The Call of the Day by Jodi Hershey. And there it will be.
Alrighty, guys. I want to thank Jodi for this amazing interview. Thank you very much. Hey, if you're a creative person, you need to be in touch with your spirituality. It's just my opinion. is just my opinion, but I don't need to tell you that. You already know that. Whatever you're doing, writing is a spiritual endeavor. Photography is a spiritual endeavor. I love artists, and I love creativity, and I love personal growth, really. I love personal growth. Guys, when you pick up her book from our website at frederickby.com, Amazon kicks back a few bucks to the show, and it helps cover production costs. No hidden fees, no nothing, no additional cost to you. So you can help by going over to frederickby.com, click on her page in the blog, and click the link to her book. It is really that simple. And right now, guys, we're looking for new hosts on the Creative Magic Network. Yes, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are positively oriented, if you have a message to spread, if you're starting out in the podcast world, maybe you don't know, you're not sure where to go, what to do, and it's a scary world. I get it. We can lead you. We can lead you, and you can step on our platform. If you have a positive message there, just go to frederickby.com and click Become a Host. Become a host in the header. Also, we'd like to thank those who pledged to our Patreon page. You are really helpful to this show, and we are grateful for your help. In case you're wondering, Patreon is a simple way for you to contribute to the podcast every single month and get super cool exclusive rewards in return. I promise you will love the perks. Our Patreon page is at frederickby.com. Click Patreon in the header, and the money is used to cover our production costs and editing time, and you can contribute for as low as $1. And also, the Creative Magic Store is open, alive, and well. T-shirts, mugs, DVDs, recommended reading, a bunch of cool stuff. Hey, it's Christmas. Go check it out. Go check out the Creative Magic Store, and I am positive you will find something that you like. It's designed. The Creative Magic Store is designed with meaning. It's meant to inspire you, to tap into your intuition, and add a little bit of magic into your life. This podcast is free every time you download it on iTunes or Stitcher or whatever platform you choose. Please go over there, subscribe. It is listener supported. Tell a friend, leave a 5-star review. It really helps a brother out. Baby. Yeah. All right, guys, it's time for me to ride off into the sunset and take a little nap. A little tired, I have to admit, but hey, everything's cool, everything's fine, just a regular nap. With this, stay safe, and don't forget, live with purpose, passion, fire, and love. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Frederick By Show. For more information, go to frederickby.com. That's Frederick with a C, by like bye-bye.com.